game kind of started off, more of a defensive battle, and then VCU picked up their offense late in the game. How do you think the team was able to kind of slow down the Rams at first in the first quarter?
It was a really big defensive focus for us the past few days of our half-court defense. We were able to, in the first half, do what we brought into practice, and then the second half, things started to fall apart. But that's what we still have to keep working on.
Gotcha. And then you guys had, an offensive surge in the third quarter. You guys were pretty hot. What do you think kind of contributed to that streak?
It's really exciting to see shots go in from inside and out. I think it brings a big energy for our team, and if we can keep it consistent, that's what we need to continue to win. But I think just giving each other confidence was a really big thing in the third quarter that we brought to the table.
Mm-hmm. And then last time you played this team, I think you had a career high of points scored. Was the game plan kind of similar to Fiji, and do you think VCU kind of adjusted to that at all?
Our game plan is the same for every game, to work it inside and out. If it's working inside, then we're just going to keep working it inside. I think that they adjusted with double teaming, which allowed us to get open shots in the perimeter, which is going to be a big thing for us. I think we need to start kicking it out more, and that's on me, to give my teammates open shots when I know that I'll be double teamed.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think after the third quarter surge, what do you think kind of contributed to the fall off more in the fourth quarter?
It's a good question. I don't know. We're still asking ourselves that every day. What can we bring to the fourth quarter that we got to get a dub? So what do we have to continue to bring?
Okay. I think that's it for you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, Ramon, we'll have an opening statement from Coach, and then you can ask questions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. To reiterate what Allie said, I think sometimes we keep asking ourselves a lot of the same questions. We're continuing to go back and kind of analyze our areas that we need to improve on. So there are definitely some nice stretches today where you like to see the ball moving quickly and the ball, like Allie said, ball go through the hoop. But there's not yet quite a level of consistency for 40 minutes. And we're trying to find different combinations of guys out there that can maybe provide both offense and defense for us, but we just haven't had a lot of consistency from a lot of different guys. So happy to see that, Allie stepped up. She had a big third quarter for us. It was good to see a couple 3-pointers go in the hole today, but I thought we missed some layups early in the game that really it was just a missed opportunity for us to be a lot closer at the half. I know 6 points doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're struggling to score, it's a lot.
I think last game you talked about using timeouts a bit more liberally.
Yeah.
And I kind of noticed that towards the end of the second quarter, you're trying to stop those scoring runs. And then you guys managed to score off of both those timeouts. Were you kind of striking a place there, or just kind of trying to get the team its confidence back?
Both. Yeah, both. It's a matter of refocus. We're not going to let this happen to ourselves again. It's, the kind of plays, I think sometimes when it's a turnover that leads to a basket, those are the ones that are really hard to take. So I've been trying to, if that happens on consecutive plays that we turn it over, burn one of my timeouts to try to get the team refocused, give them a play to run. They did a good job of executing out of timeouts today, but we only have so many. So we just need to continue to work together and find that chemistry as a team so that we can play, within the flow of the game like we do out of some of those timeouts. But like I said, we had some missed opportunities there in the last couple minutes of the second quarter to make that game tighter. And that's a little bit frustrating when you're really struggling to put the ball in the hole to miss the easy ones. Especially when we finally shot 33% from the 3-point line, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to make more baskets, more 2-point baskets today.
Mm-hmm. So, like you mentioned before, consistency has kind of been a running theme. I guess, what do you think kind of contributes to the inconsistency?
Well, in some cases it's youth, like we got a couple guys that are young playing a lot of minutes. Between, our 3 freshmen that play quite a bit usually, and our Faith and Essence as sophomores that, Faith got some minutes today. There needs to be a higher level of accountability to be consistent. But we're not getting a lot of consistency from our older guys. Other than Jasmine, I feel like it's been up and down. We need guys that are they understand they got to do what they're supposed to do. I mean, when you look at box scores across the league, the best players in the league consistently put up numbers. We can't have a game where Neela has 0 points. It really hurts us that she couldn't get herself going there offensively. Obviously, she's a focal point to other people's defenses, but we got to be able to rely on her to put the ball in the hole. Obviously, I think Jasmine's doing a lot for us as a senior point guard. But Gabby and Maddie can play better consistently. They need to. They both have stretches where they're making good decisions and they're knocking down shots, and then they have stretches where they're throwing the ball to the other team. And as junior guards, it's not going to help us win basketball games. It's what you're supposed to be talking to your freshmen about, not your juniors. We need our upperclassmen to continue to be consistent. So, if we do have some inconsistency, we can kind of sub in and out and make sure we don't have lapses where we're scoring 21 points in one quarter and 9 the next.
Mm-hmm. And then what kind of adjustments were you kind of making in the second half as VCU's offense kind of got rolling?
Yeah. Well, the game didn't stop a lot. The refs let it go. I mean, they let a lot of things go both ways, which most coaches don't mind playing that way. Unfortunately, that definitely suits VCU's style better than ours. So when the game doesn't stop because they're letting foul calls go, VCU's, able to get up and down the floor athletically in a way that we can't match. So I know I burned another timeout in the third quarter because I felt like I needed to. But I thought the game got a little fast for us. So even though we kept pace with them in the third quarter, I think it kind of burned us out a little bit heading into the fourth.
Okay. Anything else to wrap it up?
No, I mean, I think that I told the team before the game that, I head into every day optimistic. I really do feel good that every time I walk in the room that we have a chance to win every single game we play. I think a lot of coaches that have a one-win team wouldn't necessarily feel that way. But I feel like we have the talent. We have the drive. We just need to put some quarters together and some halves together here down the stretch. We've probably played I think we've played more games, if not the most amount of games of anybody in the league right now. So we are going to, after this weekend, get a stretch where we're playing a little less regularly and more at home. And I think those additional practice days are really going to help us. And there'll be some other teams in the league that are playing a lot more. I mean, we played 3 games in the last 6 days. Like, no one else in the league is doing that. Us and George Mason had to do it, as well as VCU and Richmond. The other 10 teams in the league haven't played that many games in that amount of time. So I think it's just about staying true to what we've built this season on and making sure that we stay positive and keep working to get better, and make things go our way. We can't hope that they do. We have to make them go our way.
All right. Thank you so much for your
Yep.
time.